Hi, my name is Dr. Endya Frye. I'm a pediatrician at Greensboro Pediatricians. I also have the pleasure of being on the board for the Shirley T. Frye YWCA of Greensboro and co-chair of the Racial and Social Justice Committee. Today I have the pleasure of talking with Mrs. Shirley Taylor Frye. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you, Endya. It's a delight to be here with you, especially.
Thank you so much. So one question we would like to ask you today is, what is your thoughts on preserving the legacy of helping the community through service?
You know, Endya, my modus operandi is that God put us on this earth to serve and not to be served, because helping other people make us have a better world. And there are lots of people who need help, want help. Some don't know they need help, and it's up to us to use the strengths and abilities that God has given us to share with other people.
As a pediatrician, I think that it's vital for our children and their families to have a home. What does it mean to you for the YWCA to provide emergency shelter for children and families?
My heart bursts with that kind of thing, because it shows that the YWCA cares. In order to care for someone, you have to look at their basic needs. Everybody needs a home. Everybody needs a place to eat. Everybody needs a place to call home and be comfortable there. So with the YWCA doing that, as I suggested earlier, the YWCA opens her arms to all people and invites them to come in and say, I'm here to help.
Thank you.
I burst with pride with that.
Every day I get a chance to work with children of all ages, from babies to young toddlers to adolescents. What does it mean to you to know that the YWCA helps infants, babies, teenagers, and their families?
That's our future. If our future is not preserved, what are we going to do? And so helping young people, mothers especially, and then their children, to be able to withstand all of the challenges that all of us have in our daily lives, says that the YWCA, as I said earlier, cares. And in order to have our future and for us to be grateful and thankful, we have to take care and look out for our future. And that's one of the things that the YWCA does.
They are our future, and I'm thankful that we are able to do that as a community within the Y and expanding outside within Greensboro, North Carolina.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So we've discussed preserving the legacy of community. How do you think, or why do you think it's important to preserve the legacy of the YWCA of Greensboro?
The YWCA has been a stalwart for a lot of people. For an example, people who have no homes, people who don't know how to move from point to point. The YWCA says, I'm here. She opens her arms to all people and say, I'm here to help. And then we have excellent volunteers who come into the YWCA to share their skills and ability.
Thank you. Right. We know that you have lots of wisdom to bestow upon us. What advice would you give for those who are trying to preserve the legacy of the Shirley T. Frye YWCA of Greensboro?
When you call it the Shirley T. Frye YWCA, I'm stymied by it, and I don't have the right words to say. But let's say continue what you're doing right now, and continue to keep your arms open and involve all people. Bring them in, and you know, if you show that you care, other people will come. And my suggestion is to continue with your public relations as you are. Continue to do things for other people, because sometimes word of mouth speaks louder than any printed information that you could have, and especially for someone who's experienced it. And my suggestion would be, to continuing on. Because, for an example, in India, when I first started with YWCA, it was more than 70 years ago. And the YWCA has grown, it has spread its arms out, because the YWCA was a residence for people at some point. And now it is a residence for people who can't afford to be any other place. Because when the YWCA had a residence, people had to pay to be a part of it. And now the YWCA has opened its arms to people who can't afford anything else.
I love that. Preserving the legacy is continue what we're doing and continue to strive and bring on others aboard with us, so we can continue the good work that we're doing and continuing the legacy that you have provided for Greensboro as a community.
And I have to admit that you didn't tell the people that you were my granddaughter. And I cannot begin to tell you how it warms my soul to see that you, out of your very busy medical schedule, takes the time to be involved with an organization that shows such care for other people. I'm speechless, and thank you so much for what you do, and thank you to the YWCA for allowing you to work with them.
I feel like it is an honor and privilege to give back to a community that allowed me to be where I am today.
Absolutely.
And to continue your legacy, because I've seen how much you've done so for us, not only as a family, but for the surrounding Greensboro and North Carolina. And so I thank you.
Thank you, dear heart.
You're welcome. So some individuals may ask us, how can we help to preserve the legacy of the YWCA?
You can help the YWCA by volunteering, and secondly, by giving financially to the YWCA. There are so many people who can't afford to do anything else. So case in point, I give the YWCA credit for helping me with my executive leadership skills, because there I found a way in meeting with all kinds of people, different kinds of people, and they had programming that would help me to deliver, help me to work with other people, because in the YWCA, there's so many things that could come about. I've been across this country to YWCAs across the country, and all of them are working in different ways. But when I say in different ways, it all comes down to helping other people, serving other people. And as I said in the very beginning, God placed us on this earth to serve and not to be served. And the YWCA is following through on that. And I am grateful that the YWCA has been a part of my life. The YWCA helped me to be what I am today. And as I said, it warms my soul to see that you're working in the same direction. And thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I want to share with all of the volunteers who are working with the Greensboro YWCA for all that they're doing to keep it going. And I think when people see what you're doing for other people, because it's not only shelter, that you share with other people. There was one person who told me that it helped her develop her business. It helps with business skills and that kind of thing. It helps with developing personal relationships, because YWCA gives you the opportunity to have direct dialogue with people, because you may have a perception of someone else. But when you have direct dialogue, your whole thinking changes, because you really see the real person when you get that opportunity. And my suggestion would be, as my grandmother would say to me, keep on, keep it on.
Awesome. Well, thank you again. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me today and to talk to the community about the Shirley T. Frye YWCA of Greensboro. And we continue to work together, not only in the capacity of the YWCA, but as our family. Thank you.
Thank you, my daughter. Congratulations on 120 years preserving the legacy of the Greensboro YWCA. We're all happy that we're still here.